Dying on every What dying on every planet would... Oh my god, wait. What dying on every planet would be like.
Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, but if you think that means it's hot all the time, you're wrong. At night, temperatures can plummet to an icy minus 180 degrees Celsius. During the day, however, they can skyrocket to 430 degrees Celsius. This extreme imbalance happens because Mercury doesn't have a proper atmosphere to regulate temperature. Instead, it has a very thin exosphere, which doesn't maintain heat. While apart from temperature, you wouldn't have to worry about weather on Mercury, the real dangers come from solar radiation and the lack of breathable air. In fact, Mercury gets almost 7 times the solar irradiance that Earth receives.
I just imagine Mercury is like you're just breathing in, like you're in a sauna, but like you're just breathing in air and you just breathe it in and your lungs just slowly evaporates when you just slowly take the breath in.
As the smallest planet in the solar system, Mercury is full of craters, cliffs, and bumpy terrain, making it a pretty tough place to land as well. The low air resistance doesn't help either. It would make slowing down a spaceship much harder, increasing the chances of a high-speed crash. Landing during the daytime is out of the question because of the extreme heat. The latest NASA spacesuits can only handle up to 121 degrees Celsius, nowhere near Mercury's daytime temperatures of 430 degrees Celsius. Plus, keep in mind that Mercury's day lasts about half a year due to its slow rotation. Nighttime isn't much better. Temperatures of minus...
So it's hot for that fucking long? How is Mercury still rotating around the sun?
Minus 180 degrees Celsius far exceed NASA suit's lower limit of minus 157 degrees Celsius, so you'd still freeze. Your best bet would be to try landing in the Terminator zone, the area between day and night where temperatures are more moderate. Even there, however, it can be risky, as temperatures can change relatively quickly. Venus. Venus is the closest planet to Earth, sitting just 40 million kilometers away. This means the journey there would be relatively short, about 4 months. Its size and gravity wouldn't pose much of a problem, as they're pretty similar to Earth's. The first real issue you'd face, though, would be those beautiful yellow clouds you'd see as you approached the surface. Unfortunately, they're made of sulfuric acid, a highly corrosive substance that would destroy your lungs.
Why? Yup. What?
I'm on the game, brother man.
You on the game?
Yeah.
I'm reacting to a video. You wanna react it with me, and we can put rivals after?
No.
So yeah, we're at what dying on every planet feels like, and we passed Mercury. Mercury, you would just feel like you're in like a hot ass sauna. So you wouldn't even, you just boil to death. So yeah, now we're at Venus, and now we're at the part where
yes, you can't fucking breathe. You breathe acid and you die.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
In seconds. But let's assume you've got a spacesuit advanced enough to filter it out. As you descend to the surface, you'd notice visibility dropping drastically. The atmosphere becomes incredibly thick, made mostly of carbon dioxide, so you wouldn't be able to see much. Then there's the heat, an unbearable 450 degrees Celsius. If that wasn't enough, only about 10% of the sunlight reaches the surface, as it's blocked by the thick atmosphere, so it'd be pretty dark. On the surface, moving your arms and legs would be a serious struggle. Even though gravity is nearly the same as on Earth, the air is so dense you'd feel like you're wading through a heavy liquid. With a good pressurized suit, you might last a few seconds down there, but before long, the pressure, about 92 bars compared to Earth's 1 bar at sea level, would crush your suit. And if that didn't kill you, the sulfuric acid you'd start breathing once your suit broke definitely...
Bro, if it's that bad, your ship wouldn't even land, like, make it on Venus, bro. You would just boom, implode, just like that, in the ship.
Bro, they literally had to take like, I think like 14 plus tests just to get a fucking drone on Venus.
For real?
Cameras. Yeah, 14 plus tests.
God, bro.
I don't remember exactly the number, but I know it was either 14 or more.
Just an asshole,
Fuck
man.
Venus, bro.
Fuck
Venus.
Mars is the second
God, Venus is just an asshole.
closest planet to Earth and the most habitable of all 8 planets. Daytime temperatures are much less extreme compared to Mercury and Venus, reaching up to a relatively comfortable 20 degrees Celsius. However, the real challenge comes at night, or in certain parts of the planet, where temperatures can drop as low as minus 153 degrees Celsius.
Fuck no.
Look,
And everybody's talking about moving to Mars. I'm not going there if it's that cold.
That was a pretty nice, you know, little 68 degrees. Not time can't be too bad. Fucking 200, negative 200 degrees. Like damn. I just slamming out your homeboy by pushing him to Mars. For a circle chain, or for some Mangekyo Sharingan.
I got you. What?
I need my Mangekyo Sharingan, Israel. I'm sorry. This
No,
has to happen.
no, it just
You're
takes me
going
to
to
Mars.
fucking Mars.
You're going to Mars. No.
Another
Yup,
big issue,
Mars
similar to
right
Mercury,
now.
is Mars's incredibly thin atmosphere. It's mostly made up of carbon dioxide, with only trace amounts of oxygen, meaning there's not that much breathable air. This
Wow.
thin atmosphere also results in low pressure and high levels of radiation exposure, both of which are incredibly dangerous. The average natural radiation level on Mars is 24 to 30 rads, which is about 40 to 50 times the average on Earth. On top of that, Mars experiences frequent and extremely violent dust storms, with wind speeds reaching up to 100 kilometers per hour. These
Good
storms
God.
can pose serious challenges, so any attempt at habitation would require a sustainable, airtight, and well-insulated life support system. Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest planet out of the 8, and it's one of the hardest planets to land on, primarily because of its extreme radiation levels. Even 300,000 kilometers away, the radiation would start penetrating your suit and you'd be done for. But since that's a boring outcome, let's assume you have a hypothetical
What?
suit that can block the radiation.
Bro, you can't even step foot near Jupiter, bro.
What?
You would just fucking die due to
You
this
just said-
aura.
Hey, guess what? Fuck you. Radiation.
Radiation.
Times stronger than Earth's, meaning you'd be falling incredibly fast. As you enter the first layers of the atmosphere, you'd encounter white clouds made of frozen ammonia crystals with temperatures around minus 150 degrees Celsius. The winds here are no joke, reaching insane speeds of up to 482 kilometers per hour. If you manage to descend about 150 kilometers through these top layers, you'd reach the deepest point ever explored. This is how far NASA's Galileo probe got back in 1995. Beyond this point,
Damn.
things start getting darker, and both temperature and pressure increase rapidly. Just as a fun fact, the pressure near Jupiter's center is estimated to be about 100 million times Earth's atmospheric pressure. After hours of falling, you might reach Jupiter's inner layers, where you'd encounter a supercritical fluid, a state that's not quite liquid but not gas either. Here, you'd kind of be swimming in this bizarre substance. If you continued further toward the center, you'd encounter metallic hydrogen, an extremely dense liquid that would trap you. But if you somehow managed to get through that, you'd reach Jupiter's core, though we're not entirely sure if it's solid or not. The temperatures here would be about 24,000 degrees Celsius, roughly 4.5 times.
Jupiter's confusing
What
as
the
fuck.
fuck? What the fuck? How did it just jump from cold as shit to hot as what the fuck?
It just jumps to that. dude.
How?
It goes to a gas giant to just liquid, more gas, liquid, more gas, and then liquid. And it gets hot as fuck.
You can't even
hotter
fucking
than the
live
sun.
on that place, bro.
Like you can't. There's no solid area, bro. You just going
surface.
through it.
Saturn. Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system, with an atmosphere primarily made of hydrogen and helium.
Hey,
The
Israel.
first challenge would be avoiding
Huh?
Imagine driving like Hellcats or some shit on the rings of fucking Saturn.
How?
Or
the
driving
fuck are
your
you gonna do
dream
that?
car on the rings of Saturn. I don't
the
know,
rings
bro.
of
That
Saturn.
shit just sounds hard.
It
That
does
shit just
sound
sounds
hard though. It does sound hard though. Like I just imagine playing Retroville on that shit, just fucking. Oh yeah, going crazy. Ooh,
Penis rocket.
penis rocket, man. Just a penis rocket. Going through the balls. It's going through the balls. You know?
Going
crash
through
with one of its
bows.
146 orbiting moons. Once you manage that, you'd encounter its iconic rings, which are made of debris from old moons, ice pellets, comets, and asteroids. Let's assume you're either an incredibly skilled pilot or your spaceship is indestructible, so you don't meet your end by smashing into space junk. As you approach Saturn's equator, you'd witness an incredible spectacle of red and purple auras caused by highly energetic hydrogen in the atmosphere. However,
God.
this beauty comes with a catch. Hurricane-force winds blasting at speeds of around 1,800 kilometers per hour would make it nearly impossible to stay steady. Trying to enter from the North Pole wouldn't be any better. Up there, you'd face a massive storm so large you could fit 2 Earths inside it. This region
What?
also has ammonia clouds, similar to Jupiter's, and temperatures that can
Yo.
plummet to a bone-chilling minus 250 degrees Celsius.
Yo.
As you fall deeper through the
Your video's echoing.
0 degrees Celsius. At this point, while the cold becomes less of an issue, pressure becomes your biggest enemy. It increases to levels comparable to the deepest parts of Earth's oceans.
You did not
Continuing
fix it.
further, the gases around you would transition into a liquid state. If you somehow survived long enough to reach the center of Saturn, you'd encounter its molten rocky core, which is about 10 times the size of Earth. Temperatures here reach a scorching 11,700 degrees Celsius, more than twice as hot as the sun's surface, with pressure roughly 1,000 times greater than Earth's. Uranus. This is where planets start getting
Your anus.
Your anus. Yeah. let's see if that squishes you to death as
really
well.
far from Earth, making the journey incredibly long. Uranus is one of the 2 ice giants and the only planet in the solar system that spins on its side. It also rotates faster than Earth, with a day lasting just 17 Earth hours. By the way, being an ice giant doesn't mean the planet is a solid ball of ice. Instead, it means it's primarily composed of elements heavier than hydrogen and helium. Like Saturn, you'd need to avoid crashing into its rings. Once you pass them, you'd find yourself surrounded by toxic gas, and the temperature would drop
Why do these planets hate us? Why are there so toxic gas? Why is there so like, bro? Toxic gas is in every single planet, bro. Jeez.
It's like, hey, fuck you. You can't come here. Toxic gas.
Toxic gas. Toxic gas. Like, why?
Imagine this wizards in the center of the planet just casting off spells to make their planet just the most uninhabitable piece of shit.
Oh God, bro. Like they just don't give it. It's like, oh, you don't want to come here. Toxic gas. All over the
gas.
toxic gas all over the fucking planet, bro. Rain of diamonds, sharp as diamonds coming down from the sky, bro. Like, I think it was either Uranus or Neptune that like rains diamonds. It was one of those planets, or Jupiter.
I know one rains. I know one rains glass. One rains glass
for the love of the game, bro.
rapidly to below -200 degrees Celsius. This makes it the coldest planet in the solar system. If the freezing cold and poisonous atmosphere didn't get you, you'd descend through the first layer of the atmosphere. Here, things get even worse. The air becomes dense, and you'd be pelted by ice pellets. Eventually, you'd reach something truly spectacular.
What?
A rain of
What?
diamonds.
I knew it. Yeah. See, I rain of diamonds, bro. Diamonds get rained on you.
And there's a catch. The pressure here is about 100 times greater than Earth's, which would ultimately crush you. Neptune.
God.
Neptune is the second ice giant after Uranus, and it's
Can't get on the planet, bro.
After you get through the toxic gas, the rain of diamonds, you're like, all right, we got this. Infinite pressure.
Infinite pressure, you're dead.
very similar. Being the farthest planet from the sun, 30 times farther than Earth, it's incredibly dark. Like Uranus, Neptune is extremely cold in its outer layers, but the inner layers are intensely hot due to immense pressure and heat from its core. Matter of fact, its core is about 7,000 degrees Celsius, which is hotter than the sun's surface. It also experiences the famous
God
diamond
damn.
ring, caused by
Of course.
high pressure breaking down
How and
methane
why?
and forming
How and why?
solid
There must
diamonds.
be wizards
Neptune's
living in
winds
there.
are among
Like,
the
'cause what the
strongest
fuck?
in the solar system, reaching supersonic speeds. In many ways, it's basically a twin of Uranus, so there isn't much to add. If you liked this video, subscribe for...
It's a twin of Uranus. Oh,
I'm a
okay.
fucking child, bro. I fucking laugh at that.
It's a twin of Uranus.